Good morning. Come on in here, scooters. Oh, hey, scooters. Come on in here. Come on in the room, scooters. It's Friday. Thank God we made it. Another week. Hey, scooters. Hey, scooters. Now, I know that y'all coming on in here. Y'all know I have zero patience. I can't wait 5 minutes, especially when I have something on my mind. Okay, y'all. But okay, especially when I have something on my mind. I have to get on to it because y'all know my name is Mrs. Tim Blaine. The mind is a terrible thing, the ways and that's what happens. So anyway, y'all, let me tell you something. This is gonna be Thursday night, Friday morning, Storytime live. Y'all, let me tell you something. Y'all, my phone, I don't drop it so many times. So sitting here, right? Hey there, love Blake. Good morning, my darling. So let me tell you something. I'm sitting here, right? I'm moping around here, okay, and just trying to get into nothing. Cause how much trouble can you get into in a one bedroom, and besides keep making them cleaning up and making your own mess, right? So anyway, let me tell you. Okay, okay. So let me tell you. Your phone don't drop so many times, man, and the phone get hot, right? So the most that it would get on, cause hit me. I have so much to damn say, but no damn patience at all. The phone always, by the time it make it like to 29% or 28, hell, I got a whole lot to say. I can't wait, and I be just basic, just gassing up the scooter, just trying to get out here in these streets, right? So let me tell you what happened. This phone get hotter than an old whore in heat. Boy, I tell you, my God, I had the phone right here on the pillow, right? And I'm checking it every few minutes or whatever. So finally, with my excuse me, well, I want to get sleepy now. Finally, with my no patient behind, the phone got up to 100%. So I said that okay, now I'm finna go live and tell them, right? So, you guys, good morning. Hello, scooters. Good morning. I'm glad that y'all able to get on in here and tap some doors, but come on in here. So, anyway, let me tell you, I don't know why. I mean, I've been moping around in here. All of a sudden now, I get to yarning. It's time for me to get up. I got things to do. So, anyway, y'all, the strangest thing in life that you can learn, and you learn from it, is knowing how far would you go. I mean, how far did in fact in a relationship with life itself. Now I want to tell you something, y'all. Now this is story time. Let me say, okay, so let me break this down a little bit. Now, what I am saying is how far. Don't let nothing take you over the hill. A lot of people let situation take them there before you even thinking about you gonna get there. You already know how much you going to take. Walk away, okay? Walk away, cause there is. Oh my God. Okay, excuse me. You got walk away. Walk away. That is the best way of saying that I'm through talking. Walk away is not in the sense of you getting on your scooters and you gonna just drive off or something. No, walk away is close your mouth. Okay? Close your mouth. So you can take it in a way that how you want to take it when I'm talking about just walk away from a situation. Hopefully, let me get my arms because I know my finger ain't open it. So don't get yourself crossed up. Don't get yourself crossed up where that you gonna have to react in a situation that you already knew from your last time in a situation like this. You couldn't have made it to this here decision, to this point in your life, this point, time, day in your life if you didn't walk away. So other word is telling you, you will, that you can do it. It's a lot of people now in the graveyard that family will say that they wish they would have walked away. It ain't had to happen like this here. I saw it coming. I knew Uncle wasn't gonna take that mess. You know, all the time, like some people is people that's in the jail, just sitting down with regret. So if you know how much that you're gonna take and walk away, don't get yourself crossed up. Because you are anything in life. Even if you thinking about going somewhere or whatever, because going somewhere, uh, um, if it into a lesson to be learned out of, you gonna always, well, life every day is a lesson. You learn to see the next day is a lesson because you didn't react according to yesterday. Okay? So life itself is a lesson. If you live to see another day, that was a lesson from yesterday. Now today is a different lesson. So, other words, every day we learn. Every day we have to pick out something that we have learned today that is going to take us, what we have learned today, supposed to have take us for the rest of our life that we won't forget. Okay, that's what make us so wise. And a lot of people say, oh, listen to the what they call the older people. I like hanging around with older people and this. No, if you're a child hanging around with older people, that because that not only that you are what the old folks say, looking in their mouth to hear what grown people got to say. Because if you and an older person basis, if they're talking, they giving you a lesson. They telling you a lesson of life. Okay, but anytime that you around there more than you and one you and one adult, and it's you and it's two adults. No, 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 no. They are gospeling. They can't. They are gospeling, and you are listening in their mouth. There's no kids around, so what you listen for? Some of you good to say that, oh, that's why I hang around with older crowd when I was little. I like the old people. Well, no, you don't. You like what the old people, what they talking about, because it ain't no kiddie stuff. You cannot learn. Not some pleasure to allow. Simple pleasure. Okay, okay. You cannot learn nothing dealing fact with a older person besides listen to the words that come out of their mouth. Because dealing back with the cursing and what they doing, yeah, you got the nasty cursing, not only from them, it just in your household. You can't have a Christian mama and it'll go over to grandmama house. They doing all the filthy cussing. No, it's in dealing fact in the household. Just make one get angry, upset. Even down to these pastors. Dare should not drink. Dare should not do whatever. Long as that they won't teach you in the part of forgiveness. They ain't gonna teach you that. They ain't gonna teach. They ain't gonna teach you nothing about dealing fact with forgiveness. Now, cause you know what? Cause they do the same thing. Same with it. They should not drink it. No, 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 no. As long as that you don't abuse the body. When you start abusing the body, then you have sin. See, and that's why that all the pastors doing a transition or crossing over, being a pastor and being a minister, they won't tell you that. Because you know why? A lot of time what they are preaching about was something what they don't heard another pastor don't say it. When all of them. Now, as they get older, then yeah, you're talking about older people. A lot of them they don't drink no more, and every now and then they'll take a shot every now and then. I'm telling you about the fellas that's in the upcoming pastor, minister, all them that's basically in a pulpit. They all have time when they sneak behind them. They do have a bottle under their kitchen cabinet, one of the big bottles. Oh, yes, every now and then they want to wet their whistles that they want to take them a shot. Their life got to be very damn boring. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. Getting back with a person that drinks and a person that's do drugs, a drug person, basically, you going to see. You can see in they movement. You can see that, this is not normal. This person got to be on drugs. Something that this person um, 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 don't got into, that it just is not a normal behavior. A person that drink a lot of time is cause that when they drinking, it's down in the bottom of their stomach. All right, down not well, down in their stomach. So basically, like when they talking, and if they have not brushed their tongue up to the root of their mouth and all over, they still, some of them still like that after drunk taste, that after morning taste, uh a drunkenness that they still will keep on drunk, that they have to take no shot, and then they'll go and put peppermint or sit up there on the pulpit and eat much peppermint that they can, because guess what? Because that is still yet, if you have some mint in your mouth, it can wake up alcohol if you don't have it, and depends on how much that you don't have. Mint can wake it up. Mint can have you getting right back, feeling, uh, not feeling drunk, but feeling good and mellow you out from the last time that you don't had to drink, like before you go to church. Even though you ain't gonna bring the word, but you there in church. Oh yeah, they gonna come to church. And the reason why they come to church, that's male and female. The reason why they come to church because that's an outing. Okay? It's nothing but a fashion show. Nothing but a fashion show. Church people. So wait a minute, let me get back to here. By them drinking, it depends on, again, it depends on how much that they have to drink. The last time, if they suck on some mint, they can sit right there and just be all days out like they are part of the service, all while they are feeling good. Some of them have known to, back in Georgia, they have known to basically have the drink in their coat pocket. Go on into church with it. Somehow or another, doing church service or something, sometimes they go and they take them a shot. But see, they ain't gonna tell you that. They not gonna tell you that. Some on drugs. I haven't really like get into focus dealing fact with a pastor on drugs. I have not came into the grip, did in fact a lesson of putting it in the mind of dealing in fact with a pastor on drugs. I can't. I can't get that story. I know one thing about if I can say if he's on powder, he'll stay there and he talk your head off, and it wouldn't have nothing to do with what he read in the Bible, the scripture that he had read in the Bible. But he would talk your head off because he getting down now. Then he starts sweating with it have that little cloth, that little handkerchief starts because guess what? It's coming out of them, and they get down for a while. I have been there in church. That's another reason why it turned me off dealing like what they call them back then, the sanctified church. Yeah, the pastor had spoke 5 or 6 hours. Yeah, I remember that good. Growing up as a child, and that's what basically, like in a way, like put me like I didn't like, especially like going to those church like that, and then all the screaming and the hollering and stuff used to scare me. All right, and then when they telling you, oh, she happy with what they doing, screaming and hollering, that what you call happy? Because I couldn't understand it. Oh, it's the spirit. It's like that. And also too, in dealing like that with the spirit, right? That's what. Hey, good morning. Hey, I can't even. I don't even have the glasses on. I just open up. Hey, boo, how you doing? Hey, Ben. Um. Let me see. I think you. What do you say? Ben. Y'all mean new and more. Okay. I think I see it a little bit, but I don't have on it. That's right, darling. Thank you, Grand Rising Boo. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not subscribed to my channel. Please do so. You guys don't my channel what they get something straighten out verification a whole bunch of stuff on my channel. So everything did in fact if you see a commercial, let me know. Other than that, the commercial and the membership, everything based on hold for right now. Okay. Now, dealing fact with the spirit. Okay. Now, you remember now when we was they talk about the Holy Spirit. And y'all hear me talk about it when I go into prayer in the order way that you pray. Now, check this out now. They gonna tell you all dealing back with the Holy Spirit, but they not gonna tell you dealing back the other side of dealing with the Spirit. Now, let me tell you something. I don't like. Oh, excuse me. I don't drop this here phone. I don't like being into a. Let me put that down like this. I don't like being around. Oh no, now you're telling me to put it back up. Wait a minute. Hold up. I gotta put it up. Okay. I don't like being around in a church and they talking about nothing but witchcraft. Okay? Nothing but witchcraft. Every time I come out the mouth is dealing fact with witchcraft. Going into the church, they got like like a white sheet up, and they spray some lavender on you and all this for all the spirits, all these here spirits and jinx that on you for it to stay out the church. All that. I told you, if you want to learn anything, go to the church. I'm telling you, at some church, yes, especially is the church when they have in the evening time. Church start at 7:30 in the evening time. As you notice, it's a different type of service than was in the morning. They got some kind of tent when you first walk in the church. They got somebody there to put all this stuff on you, so all the evilness that's in you that it won't come in the church. Then you go on in the church. Yeah, it would shock you if you ever see, so if you never saw it or grew up in a church like that, it would shock the hell out of you for you to see when you go in the church and before you go right into service, going to the main, uh, where service is being taken place, especially when they have the double, no, when they have like the first door and then the second door you be inside church, you watch that right there in the foyer. They got some of everything going on in the foyer. Because they saying that they don't want these here spirits and all this here inside the church. Y'all, it is done right there in the building. This is how the mind thinks, dealing fact with the pastor, how he want things done. Now believe me, those that's up there up under the pastor, believe me, they have to pay their tithe. They do. Them are more like the number one people that really is brainwashed that would give the church everything that they got. They gonna make sure the pastor is taken care of. So dealing with that, I just want to, hey there, hey Taylor, how you doing? Good morning, y'all. Please like my video. Thank you. And share me out. But thank you. So anyway, you got the basic. Thank you, Tina. Okay. So anyway, it starts. And one thing about it, your parents, the one that introduce you to this here. Don't let them try to fool you. Oh, we going to, they the one that introduce you to all this here right there. They bring you straight to church. But whatever that seems like what the church teach, they should be able to, how I'm gonna say, to follow through at home and talk about what the reverend preached about today. They want to it want the pastor to tell you about the evil, the wicked, the voodoo, and all that kind of, cause of the pastor said, but they cannot relate to you. Wait a minute. You are very, thank you, my darling. I cannot see the. Oh yeah, that because that I got it on the I got it right here on the avatar because that I'm laying down. I'm laying down. That's why I don't have a screen on. I'm laying down. So anyway, so let me tell you, it seemed like what the pastor preached about. You should be able to take it home with you, and and if your parents ain't go to church this morning, a lot of them don't ask about, honey, did you enjoy service? What did the pastor preach about? You know what the parents would say? Hey, did you see Sister Mary in church today? Sister, we don't know how they go. They go by the last name. Sister Wilson in church today. They ain't gonna ask you what the pastor preach about. They gonna let the church. You gonna hear the first thing did in fact, but voodoo, witchcraft, and all that all in the church first. Then your parents ain't gonna say nothing to you about it. But as you get up older, become, I would say, adult, you will put in your mind that it's all right because that after all you have got it from the church. If the church said if the pastor talked about it when you was a child, it got to be some realness in it. So you would remember more of the uh witchcraft in the church, and you can remember the service and where you find it at in the Bible, what he talks about. Because some things that you can just pull it off just like that. Not pull it off, but can find it just like that. Because that's what the most that what the pastors preach about, okay? Yeah, yeah. And guess what? Again, your parents the one that send you to it. When you first hear about witchcraft and all those evil did back with spirits or stuff, you're going to hear about it in the church first. And the reason why that, because that, I'm going to tell you that it's more like that. It is, it basic to me like a scare. It like to scare you, you know, to scare you. And then long that you come to church, you ain't gonna be you ain't got to worry about it getting to you. But you got to pay your tithe. Pay your tithe. You also got to get in an offering. Two different things. But it's the same thing. We want pay for to come here. We got to get this air conditioning and all this here and this water in the church paper. That's basically it's the same thing what he's saying. Tithe, love offering, your dues or do, all that. They just saying the same thing that we need money. You got to pay to come on up in here. Now, and then we feel that it's okay. It's okay. Because we heard it in the church. So it got to be some realness in it. It got to be real. The pastor talks about it. Did in fact with them running around there in the Holy Ghost. But see, one thing I can that about right now about today's church. Now, back when we was little, they be jumping around there. They saying that the people are happy and they got the Holy Ghost, right? Okay. Now look at this here. What the hell they doing now? Even now to the little children, they know how to do the dance. Now they coming out and saying it exactly what it is. It is the dance, the church dance. Then what the hell were they were doing that as a child? What type of spirit is on them as we were a child? Then what they are doing now? They the only one that does this here church dance. Y'all know about it. You remember back in the day when your mom or your granddad, go ahead, my baby got to do that thing, baby. And they got you what you got to look your hold your head down, and you go ahead and you do that. What it called? Do that dance. Do whatever that they doing. You notice in the church when they be doing they little step. Why? If you got the Holy Ghost, you remember not using that when we grew up and they get the Holy Ghost, they don't look down at their feet or nothing, right? They don't look down at their feet. They be hollering, throwing their hands up in the air, tears coming out their face. They just screaming and hollering, right? Now look at them. What do they do today? They all got to look down to the ground. Because you know what? You look down where you worship. Okay? You wanna do your step and your dance. Look at them. Look at this here thing, what they got the bouncing dress. What you looking down on the ground for? If you praising and worship, well, what's going on with you? Because it's all for the show. To show everybody else. All on doing the same old steps. Same old. They ain't looking down or nothing. I mean, they not looking up or nothing. They ain't throwing up their hand or nothing. No tears coming out there. They just basically just want to see. The only thing that it is just to impress the next man in church or the next woman that watching them. And now with this here rubber band dress that they got on, oh my God, isn't that something? Won't that be something if they come along with the suit, with the jacket? I remember time in church, the guys used to jump up and down when they catching the when they get what they call happy, the Holy Ghost. They jump up and down. Now what do they do now? Even they look down at their feet. Cause y'all gotta, you gotta come with me. You got to see what I'm talking about. You got to see what I'm talking about. They don't never hold up their head. They all the time looking at their feet. They looking at their feet. What I can't understand that if you know that you planning on the come in the church for them to see you jump around, why you don't leave your designer purse just how do they do it? Do you back in the day we put the wallet in the car? You don't need the big bag because then you gonna be jumping up and down. And the what them women call them, the ushers, they gonna give you a piece of napkin to wipe off your face. And why you got to come into church with these big old pocketbooks? Just to say you got a big pocketbook and it's a design. Let me tell you something, y'all. You know, poor people going to show off what they got. But guess what? They don't have nothing to give long or help you out at all. Because guess what? Because they still paying for that pocketbook. They have more finance and did in fact for what they wearing, all what they own. And the most expensive thing, what they got on, a lot of them wearing more than what they mortgage is. But still yet they mortgage to the man is late or again foreclosed, but they wearing everything on them. Isn't that something? And that is the biggest thing that is the finance of I don't mean let's say poor, but poor people is what they wear. That's the most that put them in finance is the way how they want to look. Now the person that can afford to do this here, they only gonna show off with people. They really don't show off. It just basic. That's who they are, and they round people just like that. But them church people, not everybody in the church wearing a designer bag and designer hat on their head and all that. That ain't nothing but show, tell, and see. But the credit card is so high up to what they wearing will cause them get into bankruptcy, and credit is slow, bad, and everything what they got because of what they wearing right there. I tell you, it's nothing but a fashion show. I'm going to get some. Okay, boo, go ahead and get some rest. Okay, thank you for coming over, my dear. All that they own is right there what they got on. But they still owe on it. They still making payments on the pocketbook, the shoes, and the makeup. And the hairdo. They still making payments on it. Did in fact with the church. Okay, now let me tell you about with the church. They can't even afford what they get on, so that's why they lean on the church to help them get, because they're going to make sure the pastor wife and the mother of the church and all this here, they going to make sure they together. They start from 1 year to the next year getting ready for the convention. Getting ready for the convention. Remember now, whenever they get happy and excited, they have to look down on the ground. You remember now? They got to look down on the ground. What you see down there, what you looking for, what are they looking for? A quarter? What they looking for with their head down on the ground? Seem like me, if you feeling happy inside, seem like you should be throwing your hand up, just looking up for heaven, just looking up, just looking at your ancestors, just looking up. What you looking down on there? Whatever that's down there. You supposed to be feeling happy in the Holy Ghost. You can't stop with your steps to pick up your earring or you see somebody drop $1 bill. You can't do that. You got to keep on going. So then what you looking down there for? Want to make sure that you drop your earring, that somebody don't pick up your earring because you paid this much for your earring? Is that what that all about? What you looking down there for? See, this is what you call, now this is the show. See what I'm saying? Now this is the show. This is the show. And all know exactly where to go. Usually back in the day when they used to get happy or shouting, they shout, they stand up in the church, they shout, someone shouting, they just start right there where they at. Now everybody make their way down to the center of the aisles in the church. Everybody doing, even down to the little babies, all of them do the same thing. Y'all, boy, wow. Wow. And the ones that sit there and do that dance, reason why they right there by the pew and did not come out among to get out there because they not too sure they got the steps together. They not too sure that they got, so they rather jump up and down right there until they go home and practice some more that they got the steps and they feel secure that they can come out there and they can do the steps. That they got that feet dance, right? That's what basically what they do. I'm not gonna make it up. I'm telling you exactly what you see right there. And all on right there, they're sitting right there in front of their seat. All on just still looking down. All on still just looking down. All on doing it the same thing. Down to the little children. No wonder they say they have a good time in church. Girl, we had a good time last night. Ooh, child, they sung something. Ooh, yeah, we had a, yeah. But they cannot look up. Cause they cannot look up. They cannot look up. They don't have no tear coming out their eyes. They just basically just do that dance. Which that gets the pastor and the that turn them on. They sit and they see how a woman calves in the back of her legs. When a woman calves on the back of her leg is how they call it, nice and fat. All right, they consider them as I told y'all one time that they judge you as being good in bed. They don't look at it. The reason why your feet is so fat down there that you need to take a water pill. That's dealing back all of that salt that you got in your body. That ain't dealing back with, and it was a thing of that dealing back that when I was coming up, dealing back that, oh, do you know them Banks girl? All of them got some fat legs. And it was back then it was a thing, having fat legs. Back then they were wearing them pantyhose. Them itches as damn stockings. So let me say this here. do that dance. How could you supposed to be praising and worship him? They got the bouncing rubber band dress. Now they gonna sooner or later, I haven't seen it yet, but sooner or later, they gonna be making it for the little kids. Everybody gonna be bouncing around there. That's how a lot of these young guys and majority of those pastors, they are the ones that they can get close to, that want to be a part of the pastor, is the ones that's in the band and musician them, okay? And that boy that got on them glasses, with certain type of glasses that they wear, that the pastor like those glasses. Not only that to make the boy look smart, but let him look like a nerd too. And the pastor like that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Look at majority of the kids who they basically like. You would see that a pastor got fresh with, did in fact with the boys. You'll see that boys wearing some glasses. And then also too, let me tell you, when they be around there doing the dance, especially I'm going to get my going to fix the coffee. I know I should have started the pot. But okay, while they around there doing the dance, right? The pastor like how tight, and the women, how a man butt look. All the while, it all planned. I see you, they do a whole lot of tricking between Monday and Wednesday morning. They do a whole lot of tricking. Mm-hmm. Monday and Wednesday. They do all they tricking and try to get with sister, get with this person and that person. Now, dealing back with the little young boys, usually they would be on Sunday after service, and they would trick with them up to Wednesday. Because they call themselves going to read and study the word Wednesday night, so they can start preparing themselves for whatever little service that they going to do. They already time themselves how long they going to preach. Mm-hmm. They got all that time. Y'all, let me tell you something, sir. When the COVID, right? Let me tell you something. When the COVID, my grandmother and my aunt both had passed away. One passed away Sunday, next day the other one passed away, right? So this here must be. I'm just saying this in a joking way, but I'm sort of kind of. This must be the one of the baddest church in this here city. That it gets down and have a whole lot of funerals. My grandmama's funeral was at. They kept on changing the time. They were changing the time according to the pastor. All right, the church kept changing the time. So my grandmama's funeral was at. I think it was at 11 o'clock. Did you know my grandmama's funeral? I'm just trying to give you just a little bit. Don't count me to the time. Either it was 10 or 11. So let me tell you what happened. Even down to the funeral service, the funeral home that had the body and everything. Let me tell you how this here gonna go. When they had their funeral, they had to bring both caskets out at the same time. Did you know that that pastor was on funeral number 4? Let's say, I think we wasn't in there at 12. They was in there, so it had to be 11 o'clock. When it was time for my aunt, my grandma, my aunt funeral, the pastor was on funeral number 4 that day. I'm telling y'all, they only gave us 30 minutes. 30 minutes. They want you out of there. They made it clear. They want you out of there in 45. Us and all them caskets. Because the pastor, okay, yeah, he had another funeral at maybe at 11 o'clock. The funerals was like, it was like 15 minutes. They cleaned up the church, and the next hour that pastor was booked practically up to, I would say, 2 or 3 o'clock. Cause we got in there, let's say about either was 10 or 11, and he was on funeral number 4, even down to 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, let me tell you something. I can understand 8 o'clock in the morning. I really can understand about 11 o'clock in the morning. I can't understand waiting up to 12 o'clock to line up all this stuff here. No. Because you know what? Your whole day is going to be tied up waiting on for us to go to the church and for us to go ahead and get there to have the service. All morning long, you just going to be waiting and waiting. You're going to be dressed up from the time that pulling all price tags and everything. You just going to be waiting. So if it's at 8 o'clock, let's get in here and get it over with. So at least about 9:30, 10 o'clock, you can basically think of what you're going to do for the rest of the day. But when you got the whole entire day to think of doggone funeral, and then because the people is only going to stay around just for a look back, maybe mostly for an hour, because majority of them is coming around there basic to eat. All right. So basic, so basic, you got the basic, like, watch this here, how it goes. Now, the first time I ever went to a early funeral, that was, y'all, I told you, my father-in-law. My father-in-law, when he passed, Pop's funeral, that was in New York, a big old church. Pop funeral was just for 20 minutes. Just 20 minutes. In and out. 20 minutes. The pastor get up and say what he got to say. The kids or whoever say whatever, we was out of there. And by the time we got back to the house, it really didn't seem like that. Went to the grocery store. It didn't even seem like that. We forgot what we had did this morning. Went to the funeral. It took more time to go and bury Pop going through the New Jersey Turnpike. Then we were there in service. Y'all, we had how things was happening so fast. I never seen that before. We had got up and it was, I remember getting up about 7:50 and the funeral was going to be at 9 o'clock. We had to be at the church. I remember all that. It's like, wow. Only by the basic is blowing this thing out. I don't know. It just, the first time I ever seen a funeral that quick was when my father-in-law passed. Now, here we go. Now, when my grandmama, not only that she was a member, but still yet, I think so. It was costing us $400 that day. $400 that day. And then the funeral home of people and the secretary of the church. That's what the money, and it had to be cash or you paid for it before the funeral. And then guess what the pastor did? The pastor didn't even know my grandmama's name. He didn't even know her name. Only thing different, who did the most work is the one that at the funeral home. They the one that was reading off the paper. Knew they the one that basically reading off the paper. We was in and out of there. That's what make things that you can have everything now at the chapel. You can have everything there. At least at the chapel, they tell you can take much time that you want. But at the church, we hungry. And especially when they know who is cooking what, this, that, and other. Let's get this thing and get it over with. Don't you know that sometimes a funeral lasts longer than a church? And sometimes after a funeral, and the body's still that, now they want to have just a regular Sunday, regular service that they going to have. Not forgetting that they got a body right there. That's why a lot of time what they are doing now, they not letting you open up the casket no more. When you first get in the church, go right up there and see the body right then. They don't open up no more. Because you know what the pastor say? He want to get you in and out of. He ain't going to go there with all that screaming and slobbing all over. He's not going to go there. When you first get in the church, you going to go and look at the body. And that's it. He going to close it down right then. Then they may take it and go and put a picture up there or something. If they don't take it and push the body on the side, like put it on the side and let the pastor go ahead on and say what he got to say. The body is right there on the side, just getting ready to, like, whenever he get through, which way, how they going to push it out. Yes. Wow. And it's going on right now. It don't take all day. Basically what he's saying, it don't take all day to do anything. Let's get in here and let's get it over with. This person here was behind on his tithes. Anyway, y'all see what happened a month ago when that pastor put it out there on YouTube. Everybody who that didn't pay their tithes. Because you know what? Because he was depending on your money. He was depending on money. He wasn't depending on anything with the lights got to stay on in church. Oh, that'll take care of itself, but I want my money. So I'm going to put it out here on social media and embarrass all of y'all. Wow. Wow. It is a price to pay to be in the common on and get along. That's the same thing in the church. It's a price to pay. The same thing how that they hustle right here now on YouTube. It's a price to pay. in the church to be coming on July and for they to tell Miss Mary cooked the best sweet potato pie and all this other type of stuff, all this other type of stuff that is a price to pay for that. And they try to hustle you. Let me go around here. In fact, I would say YouTube. I can't say too much because you see that with a lot of them that the church people don't brought all this mess over here to YouTube. They try to hustle. So you know it's more people watching you. The ones that you see in your chat, those are the ones that drop down. Just want you to just call out their name. But other than that, it's more people see you on the internet than in the church. That's why they come and they bring it over to the internet. And also, too, let me tell you, too, and the COVID taught us a big lesson. You can sit there and watch everybody right there on TV. You don't even have to get dressed. And you already going to, COVID don't taught us a whole lot. Because church is inside you, not in the building. Is what inside of you. But did in fact, with the fashion show, and look what I'm wearing, girl, my hat, and not all that just basically is a fashion show. It seemed like they would have learned from the COVID that most people had more money in their pocket, did in fact with the COVID, than they do right now. Because guess what? They ain't had to buy nothing to wear. They ain't had to get out there on the fashion show. And the most cursing people is the church people. It is a hustle. It is a hustle. They would take your money, like how they do around here. Take your money and cuss you out and at the same time. You won't get your name called in this here chat no more. Then someone get behind the scene to shoot you a couple dollars. And then in fact with situation around here, it is so much like that. I ain't turned, I'm not turning down, I would say I'm not turning down no money or whatever, how they would step over one another. Remember now, it's just like on YouTube, it's just like church. More shit that you talk on YouTube is the bigger, to get the people all hyped up, did in fact of sending you a cash out. That did in fact in the church. That's why that they used to take money before the pastor preach and money after the pastor preach. Now the before, you gonna give him money, welcome to the service. Afterward is how you did the service. Now, some of you don't have gas. You remember the thing that lady was fussing about? Thought she put $10 in church. It was $100, and the pastor told her she was behind on her tithes anyway. He wasn't giving her no money. He wasn't giving her no money back. Make a mistake. and drop your bill money in there. Well, it's not no mistake. You meant to drop your bill money in there for the be basic uh to get a brownie point. So you know more that you put in, that's the closest that you can get to the pastor. And he only knows your name according to how you put money in there. He only knows your name then. And usually when that he don't even call your name or give acknowledgement, that's how he want to keep it just like that. But you the one that he want to get with. The bouncing dress. And one thing about it, y'all, they're just something that they basic just doing. They're just something basic just in style. It's on more to come. It don't surprise me they don't get the moonwalk shoes. Cause you know how it go. When they come down to the church, they start working on the ladies first. They'll start working on them first. So anyway, you guys, um, so let me see. Well, okay, I didn't mean to take so much time on that, but I just basically just had to say something um, about it. It just came across me that basically that I didn't think I was gonna stay that much on there. Didn't fact that show and tell, the fashion show. Look down at your feet. Watch me. I got it. Even now with James Brown, when he doing his thing, he ain't never looked down. Let me see. Um, Now let me tell about what they got going on in the B segment. It's the same, but y'all. Let me tell you something. Do not dealing back with the players that playing in with what is they going on now, y'all. It ain't nothing, y'all. It ain't nothing but a show. It ain't nothing but a show. It's not. Did in fact with I would say the thing between Ness and Pizarro and what they got going on there, y'all. It ain't nothing but a show. They are friends. They are friends. But when they get boring, they got to kick off some smoke. Got to kick off something. It ain't nothing but a show. Because no way a person would say all them things about you and y'all just can bounce back and that it was okay. No. It ain't nothing but a show. And I call it a fake outrage. Y'all, don't get your panties in a bunch with that. And the same thing when they talking about each other kids. They don't say that if you've been here long enough, they don't say the same old thing. This ain't nothing but a repeat of what they are saying. That's all. It's just a repeat. And more gruesome that you get on with you cousin. People like to see a train wreck. They got we got some action. We got this. Oh boy, it's going on now. They know how to click it in when it did in fact with it when they get bored. That's all that is. No, I don't take it serious. No, no, no. All for them to do a kumbaya and they all get together. It's time for them to spread apart too. Cause guess what? Is dealing in fact with certain people saying they got a job. They ain't got no job, baby. They ain't got no job. Much smoke that you kick off and how they got a bigger catch up, but they got to do what they do for February the 1st. For February the 1st, you got to do what you got to do. Remember now, with the fighting, I think I told you guys that The View and a whole bunch of others that is going to be doing their show this year fall. You think so? Them people want to turn around and see that this is what YouTube made about taking that you already they don't already told on damn Facebook. Now they want to come over here to YouTube. You know they're gonna clean house. You know they're gonna clean house. That's why I cannot understand why some of you don't have other other sites that you be on. They got a lot of them out there. Cause you remember one thing about it. You remember when they kick you off on YouTube, you know they usually go over there to Twitch, and others, and when they kick you off on YouTube. So you better go ahead and sign up and start getting you some subscribers or however another how you gonna do it. Cause that not everybody that they gonna keep on here. Not everybody. And y'all kept on talking about commentary content. That ain't what they looking for. That ain't what they looking for. There's so much content in the world and what is going on. And by you fighting and saying this and another, they ain't looking for that. They not looking for that. So anyway, with 6 months from now, I think it's 6 months from now, they gonna be doing it a clean house. Y'all know area YouTube come up and they do stuff. Area they come up and do stuff. Don't forget now, sometimes it can go that you can get the subscribers first before you can put in the hours. And sometimes you can get the hours first before you get with the subscribers. Get your subscribers on your own because that you'll get the taste of what hard work this is. This is hard work. Even when you don't want to go live, you got to go live. This is hard work. You got to do it like that. You take 2 days off. This is a job. Yes, it can be where you come over here, come on anytime you get ready. But guess what? You ain't doing nothing. That when they start cleaning the house, you'll be ready. And they depend on what type of content do you do. Don't look at this. Ain't about no y'all. It ain't about the numbers. It's about the content. You do great content, the numbers gonna come. But fussing and fighting, the violent. It gonna also too that they ain't gonna be taking how that like they made it this year is so easy to strike and take down a channel. Next year it's gonna be the first one that tell them about somebody is bullying them. Even if they figure that it's bully, they gonna snake down your channel. So you ain't gotta put in a complaint. So anyway, you guys, happy Friday to you, and I will see y'all later on. Okay, thank you for coming over. Bye bye. Thank you, moderators. Bye.